Hello and welcome, Million Mom Movement family. My name is Carmela Velarde, and I'm a council member in the Million Mom Movement. And I'm joined by my other members, Neva Flore, Taz Pereira, and Michelle Ritchie. And we're committed to looking for 1,000 caregivers in 100 communities to impact 10 lives each with our movement. And we are the activism arm of the organic superfood company Purium, which stands for Pure and Premium. It was started by the farmer and formulator Dave Sandoval and the co-founder Amy Venner. And we address the root cause of diseases with medicine by focusing on gut health and absorption through our organic, alkaline, whole food, plant-based superfood lifestyle. This lifestyle helped transform my health and the prosperity for my family and myself, as well as my team. I have thousands who grassroots educate home to home, and they make a profound difference in people's lives with our glyphosate solution. As the mom of a 9 and a 12-year-old, I've had a practice for over 2 decades of transformational health coaching and body work. And I can feel the collective consciousness move towards the connection of disease with nutrition. And we're all here to advocate for this. I had a wellness center with my mom, so it speaks very, very dear to me to provide solutions. And people do need true nutrition education aside from, the defunct food pyramid or medical doctors lacking information. So we're here as the Million Mom community to help provide some nourishment in the gaps. So I'd love to pass the mic over to Neva Flore in Hawaii, who will be sharing 2 very educational news pieces that will support our topic today for cardiovascular health for women.
Thank you so much, Carmela. This is such a great subject and so important for each and every one of us to dive into our own self-care. So often we put ourselves on the back burner, and it's important that we take care of our heart. So 13 facts every woman should know about heart disease, and then also high exposure to forever chemicals that may raise women's blood pressure. So first, I'm going to go into the 13 facts every woman should know. Every minute, a woman dies from heart disease in the United States. It is a #1 killer of women, causing 1 in 3 deaths each year, according to the American Heart Association. When it comes to heart disease, women experience unique causes, symptoms, and outcomes when compared to men. In addition, certain conditions appear to increase heart disease risk in women, including preeclampsia and eclampsia, gestational diabetes, migraine headaches, and aura headaches, early onset menopause, and autoimmune disease such as lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, among others. So this right here, I'm going to go into the 13 different things that to look out for. Women are more likely to die from heart disease than men. Despite outreach efforts, 45% of women still don't know that heart disease is a leading cause of death in women in the United States. So it's important to educate about this subject. Women are less inclined to call 911 when they believe they might be experiencing heart symptoms. So don't hesitate. If you know somebody or if you're ever suffering, make sure that you reach out to somebody and ask for help. Cardiovascular disease complicates up to 4% of pregnancies, and that number has been increasing. Women heart attack symptoms are different from men's. 40% of women having heart attacks experience no chest pain. They may experience shortness of breath, nausea, palpitations, jaw discomfort, or overwhelming fatigue. 70% of women ages 25 to 60 get an annual physical, but just 40% report having their heart health assessed during these visits. So it's really important. Ask your doctor to check your heart out, make sure that your heart is healthy. During pregnancy, hypertension is the most common acquired medical condition. Congestional heart disease is the most common pre-existing condition. Women experiencing heart attacks are less likely to receive the recommended medications to treat it, or they get them much later compared to men. So every second counts during a heart attack. Time is muscle. Women are less likely to be referred for cardiac rehab after a heart attack. Number 10, the incidence of maternal cardiovascular disease appears to be growing, likely due to increased maternal age, cardiovascular risk factors, and lifespan of patients with congenital heart disease. Women's heart disease is under-researched. Only 35% of participants in clinical trials of cardiovascular disease are women, and just 31% of the studies report outcomes by gender. Death rates due to heart disease increased last year for the first time since 1993. Death rates have been increasing in young women ages 29 to 45 since 2000. And then number 13, preeclampsia is an independent predictor of developing cardiovascular disease later in life. Women who have had preeclampsia should be mindful in having their blood pressure, fasting glucose, and cholesterol checked annually. So that was the first article. And then I want to go over to this next article, and we'll be dropping both of these in the comments in just a second. High exposure to forever chemicals may raise women's blood pressure. So I'm tying these together because, as you saw, this has been increasing in women over since 2000, and there's reasons why. Exposure to man-made chemicals found in common household products and in soil, air, food, and water may raise the risk of high blood pressure and in middle-aged women. A new study suggests the study found middle-aged women with higher blood concentrations of per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, or PFAs, were 71% more likely to develop high blood pressure than their peers with lower levels of these substances. And then the PFAs are known as forever chemicals because they never degrade in the environment and they contaminate our drinking water, the soil, the air, the food, and numerous products we consume or encounter routinely. So one study estimated that 2 of the most common forever chemicals are found in most household drinking water and are consumed by more than 2/3 of Americans. So this is something really important to make sure that you're drinking good water and that you're, not drinking out of plastic bottles. A lot of plastic has PFAs in it. So trying to drink your water out of glass is always ideal. We hope that these findings will alert clariticians. Let's go down here. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, thousands of PFAs are used in common household products such as some shampoos, dental floss, cosmetics, non-stick cookware, that's a big one, food packaging, strain-resistant coatings for carpeting and other things, upholstery and clothing. So we come across these PFAs everywhere in our everyday life. So it's really important to be aware of this and to just educate ourselves and each other about the things that contain PFAs and how we can avoid them. So in the new study, researchers analyzed blood concentrations of 7 PFAs and the risk of high blood pressure among 1,058 middle-aged women enrolled in a study of women's health across the nation's multi-pollutant study. The women who were Black, Chinese, and Japanese or white were recruited from health institutions in Boston, Pittsburgh, Southeast Michigan, Los Angeles, Oakland, and California. They were 45 to 56-year-old and had normal blood pressure when the study began. They were followed almost annually from 1999 to 2017. The research chose to study middle-aged women because menopause is a period when women's risk for high blood pressure begins to rise, along with other cardiovascular risks. So it's important to note that we examine individual PFAs as well as several PFAs together, and we found that the combined exposure of multiple PFAs has a stronger effect on the blood pressure. So again, knowing where the PFAs are coming from and how you're being exposed to them. So some states are beginning to ban the use of PFAs in food packaging and cosmetics, personal care products, and we're finding the findings make it clear that strategies to limit widespread use of PFAs in products need to be developed. Switching to alternative options may help reduce the incidence of high blood pressure risk in midlife for women. So passing it back to you, Carmela. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. That was such an informative quick dose of heart health information, right? And we are hearing so much about the toxicity in our environment and how it's a direct effect on our bodies, and especially during the time of menopause. So as you can hear, you know, this is why we want to bring this to our community, because there will be, and there are currently people in your circles, your communities who have many of these environmental risk factors. And how can we support them, as well as incorporating this lifestyle of organic superfood nutrition, which is very detoxifying. Okay, so thank you, Naiva. I appreciate that so much. And please do look at this article. It's really good to be up to date with what's happening in health nationwide and in statistics. And it is the #1 killer for women. So, and it is also very much linked to antioxidant deficiencies. All right, well, so today I'm excited about this topic because we really haven't specifically spoken about it much in this community, but heart health. And we always piggyback off of what's happening in our community with Dave Sandoval, who shares a Wednesday Products and Passion Zoom on product information. So please watch that if you have not yet already. Today we get to talk about cardiovascular health specifically for women. So we have two very special guests and leaders within our community that I'm very excited to be bringing on. The first person is Pialani Schneider in Hawaii, who has an incredible story of regenerative health. And she's also a top rank in the company alongside Lucy Mazes in California. And she was actually the first Latina to hit the top rank, and she has an incredible story as well. So let's start out with Pialani. I want to make a quick introduction for her. I've been in the company myself, Pialani, since 2014 March, and I see that you started in September of 2013. So she raised 2 kids as a single mother. She's currently 65 years old. I say this because we're talking about women's health, and she's got a lot to share and a lot of wisdom in those years. And she started Purium at 56. She's thriving now because of this nutrition, and she had come formerly from a corporate job, and she was an independent photographer. She had left a nonprofit to focus on helping people with Purium because it changed her life. She had a story to share. And she's so welcome here in our community. Welcome, Pialani.
Thank you, Carmela. Excuse me. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate being asked to come. I've appreciated what you and Naiva and the Million Mom Movement has done for our mission for the past 9 years. It is a passion of Amy, the corporate, our CEO, of really helping moms. It all stems from moms taking care of themselves first. And so I do appreciate here. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at Million Mom Movement. My name is Pialani Schneider. I'm right here in North Shore, Oahu, living off of my homestead, off-grid homestead, which is another story. But I want to focus on heart health as we're doing today, and women's health. And I want to focus on the longevity. And that's why I'm here today to share when I thought I was dying. I thought I was dying. I didn't think I was going to get to 60 years old prior to this. So think about just before a flight takes off, the flight attendant announces, in case of turbulence, the air masks will drop. Put yours on first before your child's. Anyone can relate to that? I always related to that in the plane. It made total sense. Except in real life, right? It makes sense when you're on the plane, but in real life, it's like we forget about it. I always just drop a one if you can relate. If you can relate to your health taking a backseat to raising kids, drop a one. Let us know. As moms, as caretakers, yes, a lot of ones. We always take care of others before we take care of ourselves. But then up at McDonald's,
You're
drinking
back.
coffee all day, making lunches, carpooling, the stresses of working all day, school meetings, weekly sports practices, usually no time to make dinner. So stopping at McDonald's, driving home to eat in the car, homework, chores, right? The list goes on. It can be nuts, right? And it's rinse and repeat over and over again. And there's literally no time for myself. And I sacrificed what was important to me. I wasn't exercising and I was eating McDonald's. I was drinking the coffee. I was drinking the Diet Cokes all day long just to stay up because I wasn't sleeping at night. I was addicted to sugar. I was addicted to carbs. But here's the key. I was doing the best I knew how. I was getting it all done.
Right.
I was a super mom until it all came crashing down. The turbulence and the roles changed when my teenager had to then care for me. First, a broken leg. She had to bathe me. She had to feed me. Then came the painful arthritis. Doc said that injury was causing me a life of arthritis, very painful arthritis. It was a bad break. Oh, and then to top that off, a life of constant vertigo, at least 3 times a year. Enough that it took all my paid sick days and my vacation days, so much that I had to work about a week with no pay to make up for all that lack of working. I don't even know how my daughter got to school during that time. She must have called friends. I was literally, as a single mom, unable to provide, unable to function. It was not a good time for me. I was dying. And what Naeva was talking about with all the symptoms, I was having all that too. I was having heart palpitations almost weekly. My heart would race fast. I had no idea what I was doing to my system. So it was a very scary experience. And, you know, with that busy lifestyle, I call it unconsciousness. I went from unconsciousness to consciousness with Purium. I didn't know what was going on, but I got through the motion, not thinking about what was happening. Docs wanted to get me on all kinds of meds, but I was always really hesitant to that. I didn't want to go down that path that my mom was on. And so this all happened before September of 2013. I'm a prayer warrior. How many people can relate? You get through life with prayer, right? Thank God for prayer. And a pastor said to me, I have to care for myself before I'll ever be able to help others. She put me down the path of I needed to find help for myself first. And thank God for Purium and a simple system that then reminded me of, it reminded me of my fast food, convenient life, except it was 100% nourishing, right? I could still go, but I had my power shake and my aminos all day, not my Big Macs and my coffee. So it's really cool because I didn't have to change much. I was still on a fast-paced life and a convenient life, but this was regenerative food. My body could feel it. I was no longer dying. The arthritis went away within 3 days. I'm sleeping like a baby, and I was able to truly care for my kids again. I no longer have vertigo. It's been over 9 years since experiencing that spinning. I put my oxygen mask on, and it was life-changing. I appreciate it.
So how did you get introduced to the program? And I've actually seen you in this community. You had such a wonderful connection to your daughter throughout your whole story. And I know that she's actually a partner of yours, correct?
Yes. So thank you for sharing that. Kahala did develop an autoimmune disease. So that lifestyle did lead her down a very unhealthy path as well. She developed an autoimmune disease, and I cared for her with 100% Purium once when she had a really, really bad month sickness. She got over it and realized that her body was speaking to her as well. So it helped her. She's down this path as well, where she chooses Purium over other things. She's eating really well. She eats organic. So even though as a parent, I taught my kids to eat fast foods, there is a way of getting out of that, because these foods speak to us. It speaks to our bodies. I didn't have to tell her, how to do it. She got sick, so I fed it to her because she was sick. I stayed by her bedside and fed it to her. That's all she could keep down was the Power Shake and the aminos blended, sipping with a straw. So she realized what was happening to her body, and she realized how powerful Purium was to help her become healthier.
Wow.
And
I didn't know this full story. So both of you actually had hit a pretty rock bottom, both of you, where you've had to take care of each other independently.
Yes. And so here's the thing I want to offer everyone: the opportunity of giving yourself grace, because we don't know what we don't know. Sure, I heard about how bad McDonald's is, but it's convenient. It's on every corner. So it's really simple in this busy lifestyle we live to go drive through, go drive through for breakfast and drive through for dinner, because you got to get your kids home and you got to get them, the chores and everything. It just starts piling up. But give ourselves grace, because there's always a way to turn that around. But here's the thing, little rebel that I am, I think it was day 45, I went and got a Big Mac. I got a Big Mac. I opened it up. I took a bite. I could taste the chemical. I spit it out and threw the whole thing away. Sometimes you have to give yourself grace. Go back, see what it's doing to your body. So I'm hoping that people can see that it's not so rigorous. The ULT and the heart health that we offer at Purium, it's not as rigorous. It's not so much what will eliminate, it's what we add to our bodies consistently to allow our bodies to then daily cleanse and our bodies to heal itself. Our bodies do the work, not our will, not anything else. The body will then say, oh, I don't want that, just like it did for me with the Big Mac. My body spit it out.
I have a lot of relatable comments here in the chat, because it's true. Once, even just for 30 days, you experience such a shift and know what fake food feels and tastes like. And I love that you're talking about where you come from and where you are, because most people are really just in mainstream, where, fast food and everything that is marketed really is here. So how do you advocate for, especially for women's health with your experience? Have you been able to attract people with, similar health issues, and sort of how has that happened in your business?
Well, I mean, with my story itself, I'm relatable. I've been there, done that. I know what it's like to live on fast food, to eat any kind of foods, to not be conscious about what I'm putting in my mouth. I've been there. So I understand what we as a society, everyone is going through. The food system is toxic. It's toxic. It's filled with chemicals and toxins that have just, obviously with my own health, now 9 years later, I've been here for 9 years. And the longer I'm with Purium, the more regenerative health I'm experiencing. Not only do I not have any of those symptoms, any of them, not arthritis, any of them, I have the energy of a 30-year-old, and I'm 65. I got my homestead. I'm on the property 1 to 2 hours a day, digging trenches, lifting rocks. I have I listen to Dave, like he is my mentor. Like he tells, every time he speaks, he's speaking to me, because I'm living what he's speaking about regenerative health. I no longer need reading glasses. So I'm aging backwards with everything that was going on in my life. Everything is aging backwards. It's going back.
Oh my God. Thank you. That message is so loud and clear. And wow. And to be honest, I wanted everyone to hear you share how you were able to build what you have, which is true health and true financial health as well, because you didn't have to be an expert. You just shared that you came from a really difficult place And step by step, you were telling people where you were. And a lot of people need to hear that they don't need to be the expert. They just need to be real. And that, I mean, you said yourself, I'm here because people can relate to me and I want to be relatable. That's what our media should be all about in our community. So we're not trying to be perfect or polished all the time because it's not possible. That's not humanity. So, wow, Pilani, thank you so much. Please follow her. She's a force in our community, one of the OGs. And is there anything you'd like to add?
I thank you for asking people to follow me. I am on social media as PEPI apostrophe I Schneider. Not, I do have PE Lenny, but I'm hardly on that site. But thank you. Yes, follow my homestead. Follow the journey of the 65-year-old that is just feeling 30 and building cabins and food, sustainable living. So here's the thing. Where I came from to where I am now is a completely 180, a complete 180. I eat organic, I'm growing organic. It's just like a complete 180. Wow. It's a journey that we're all on. And so give yourself grace to go on that journey. But also the program that we have with the 90 days, it does make a huge difference. This is not a 10-day, this is a 90-day because of the fact that that Big Mac that I went and had I just done a 10-day and walked away, I don't think I would have had the same experience with that Big Mac. So there's chemicals in so many foods that we're eating, so many foods that we're unaware of, that we've got to stay on the program for a long period, that 90-day program, so that when we do have foods we think is healthy, not that McDonald's is healthy, but I had other foods that I thought was healthy and I had the arthritis again. So we have to allow our bodies to tell us what's good and what's not.
Right. And that sensitivity to flavor comes from changing your pH, and it doesn't just happen overnight. It has to happen when you're helping your body to do what it should do naturally, which is naturally detox.
Correct.
And you get to age backwards and live your dream, which is truly to live in nature and taking care of yourself and your daughter. I'd love to hear more, as time goes, about your story with your daughter. So you're truly the Million Mom movement in action too. So what we do love to do in our community is to make sure you know more stories, because there are so many incredible people in our community that you may or may not have heard about. And what we want to do, please connect with each other. Truly, I invite you to. Pilani is inviting you to. And we want to form tighter weave, because the tighter our weave, all this junk can't fall through, it's just a load of junk. It's horrible. So we just need to diffuse that by tightening our weave. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here, and stay on because we've got a Q&A, and I'd love for you to be able to answer anyone's questions after.
Thank you, Carmela.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. And oh my goodness, we got to invite another OG in our company, and she's also been around longer than me. Her and her husband have built a wonderful, really strong business as a 2-star crown, and I've been witnessing her journey. And she's also a leader in our Spanish community. So if you did not know that we had one, every Thursday we have a call, and Lucy Mazes, she is in, I believe, Santa Monica, and I'd love to invite you on the camera and share a little bit about who you are in the community, in case nobody has heard yet your wonderful voice.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me. And it's an honor for me to be here with all of you. When I received the message that you want me on the call, I'm like, well, I'm not a mom, number one. And I look at Michael and I said, my health is pretty good, and I don't any experience. And then I just sit down for a minute, and then I said, wait a minute, I'm a mom for many, many people.
Oh, yes, you are.
I've been helping a lot of people. And not only that, I've been helping, I'm gonna say, a lot of people with their heart experience. And it came to my mind, this testimony about my friend from Hawaii. She called me one day and she said, "Oh, Lucy, I went to the doctor and she's about back then she was about 60 years old. Said, and my heart is working only 14%. And then I'm going, oh my God, Adrienne, you have to do something about it. I always start everybody with the ultimate lifestyle transformation, always. Back then it was, I believe it was like the core 4 or core 3, but I always start the ultimate lifestyle transformation. And I said, but you have to add the heartache. I said, if anything, please add the heartache. Well, a month later, she went back to the doctor and the doctor said, her heart, it was working 60% now for 14. Okay. I mean, it was huge. I was like, sometimes when you're in this business, you even go like, wow. Sometimes you don't believe what's happening in front of your eyes. And something happened to somebody. And then I told Michael, how can I help everybody in telling them about my experience? If I, knock on wood, I never had any bad experience about heart disease, high blood pressure. And I'm going to be even diabetes. The only one time when the doctor said, you're on the border, either the border or the other border. I immediately changed everything. And then high blood pressure, I don't even know what that is. Low blood pressure, I don't know what it is. I even gonna say menopause. I think I'm 58 years old. I'm not sure if I'm already on or I already passed. Because the way I'm eating, and I just started eating different weights since I married Michael 25 years ago. I used to be like Miami. I used to be eating not McDonald's, but Carlos Jr. And I used to pay $1 extra so that way they can give me the bigger one and the bigger Coke. I used to work and I used to have on my desk a box of Snickers, you know, the chocolate, by the box, by the box. Imagine what it was doing to my body. But I didn't notice because I was working. Okay. Yeah. So when I married Michael and he started changing the way I was eating, I was noticing that I had more energy. I was looking better. And then when we start with Purium, I'm like, sometimes you don't notice when you start the ultimate lifestyle transformation, you don't notice your energy. You don't notice. I go to the doctor every year just to check, just to do a checkup. And everything comes with a green colors. Everything is good. The other day, I was with one of my girlfriends. I don't know why, but I have, most of my girlfriends are like anything from 25 to 30, 32, 35. But I was one and she was 25 years old. So I said, let's go to the beach. So we went to the beach and there's a lot of steps that we had to walk. On our way back, I thought she was gonna die. Oh, wow. And I'm going, and I'm going like, are you okay? Yes, I was a little bit, you know. And she goes, huh, oh my God. And I go, oh my God. Yeah. How old are you? 25? And then I said, you have to start with the Purium products. You have to take care of yourselves. 25 is too young for you not to be able to go up the stairs and like, yeah, catch up a little bit of, you know, breathe a little bit and then keep going, just like me. But look at me. And I was like, what have you been eating? Right? We always go back, how's your diet? I mean, you're 25 years old. I'm 58. I'm going to be 59 in April. But how you been eating? What is that you're doing? And one thing I had to say, I took care of my dad when he was, for 7 years, he was living with us. And her heart, it was failing every day, little by little. But I'm very proud to say that he was on no medication. We went to the doctor, pick up the medicine, but he never took the medicine at all. Why? Because I was giving him the ULT.
Oh,
Twisted a little bit because I, instead of the power shake, I gave him the Love Super Meal. And because he cannot have a lot of water because of the retention, the liquid retention, I was giving it to him like an oatmeal with as
okay.
little water as possible. But you know what? I was looking at him and everything that he was taking, and he was like believing in us, like everything. And then I'm saying, well, I'm gonna take everything that he's taking. So I've been taking care of my dad. I've been taking the heart aid.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
You can say that's why when I go to the doctor once a year, it's like, no, good. And the only time they said about the diabetes, that, oh, I don't know if the border or pre-diabetic, I don't even know which one is first. I changed again. I did a regulation about what are you eating? Are you walking? It's very important, especially for a woman our age, to exercise, to walk, and to take, I probably take like 25 products a period, if not more. Okay,
Yes.
so you come to my house, sometimes I have all the capsules in the palm of my hand, and then I'm taking it, and then I'm just taking 5, 7 at a time, and they go, oh, how can you swallow? You know what? I saw my dad, and they said, if your dad has problems with the heart, you're gonna have it.
Mm.
If your mom died of liver disease, you're gonna have it. Not in my mind, because I'm different, because I'm taking care of myself.
Mm.
So if I can give you a piece of advice to everybody that's listening right now, I don't care what age you are, 20, 21, 60, 65, change your diet, start taking the heart aid. And when you read the ingredients, of course, I'm preaching to the choir, read the ingredients, and it's something that probably you have in the cabinet, but it's in one capsule. It's so easy to take. And the ultimate lifestyle transformation is like, I live with that. I go on. Am I a normal person that when I go on vacation? I'm in Lake Tahoe right now. When I go on vacation and I eat a little bit of Mexican food at restaurant or organic burger or something. Yeah, but it's once in a while. It's not like I was doing it before. Carlos Jr. almost every day. Can you imagine if I would have kept doing the same thing?
Yes.
Probably I will not look the way I look right now.
You and Pilani shared the same message, which is really key, is give yourself grace. I think a lot of people in this community need to hear that because they feel like I can't be perfect. I can't fit it, the regimen perfectly. But thank you for sharing that exactly, because it's not all the time. And it's by addition, and subtraction at the same time.
Yeah, there's and again, my own experience, I don't have my own experience. Thank God, knock on wood. Okay, everything has come clear. Same thing with Michael. Do you know that Michael is 16 years older than me? And when we ride a bike, he goes, come on. He has so much energy. I'm like, he goes to the doctor and the doctor say you have the high blood pressure or the blood pressure of the 30 years old. When he's 70, he's almost 75.
Wow. Okay. I met him before you in New York City, and he's very sprightly. I mean, his energy and everything. Period people, they shine. And Michael, he shines. You shine as well. But I did not know that age difference.
Yeah. And again, sometimes in the beginning and before we started Purium, like when he told me about Purium, I said, it's another green drink. No. But when I saw the energy, the way that he was depressed, sitting on the couch, sleeping on the couch until like noon, she has to take a nap and things like that, but not anymore. I'm like, okay, I had to pay attention, not for everybody. Are you a caregiver? Take care of yourself first.
Yes.
Take care of yourself. I took care of my dad, and the last month of his life, it was when he was now walking.
Wow.
But
Mhm.
before that, he died at 87. But before that, he was walking every day because he was on no medication. I'm not saying stop taking your medication. No, you need to talk to your doctor. But I'm just saying the magic of the superfoods, what the superfoods can do for you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. It's so relatable. And to be honest, Lucy, I was so excited to have you on board, even if you're not a mom, because I mean, as a two-star crown, you've got a very large family you've built and you created. And same with Pilani, she's also a crown. So they have a family that they've built and they are caregivers to them all. And Lucy, what I remember hearing about your story was that you and Michael would host and open your doors every week to your Purium family. And I said, wow, that's so inspiring. I'm going to do that. Like, I really was inspired by your story, how open of a community you created. And more people in our community need to hear that. Mhm.
Well, again, we open our house, and matter of fact, we're starting next Wednesday again because after the pandemic and people are afraid to get together, whatever. But now we open our house every week just to come and try. You have no idea how many people just went to my living room, anything from heart failure, they cannot even move their arm. And after like a month, they go, look, Lucy, I can move my arm. I mean, it's amazing. How can I not open my house when I'm helping so many people? You have to,
Absolutely.
you have to give them the opportunity to change their lives. Because somebody gave it to me, Michael gave it to me, the opportunity to eat healthier, to try something that probably if it wasn't for him, I would have never, ever, ever tried. So you have to.
I'd love to open up the call now to people who would like to connect with you and ask any questions at all for Pilani and for Lucy, and the council too can chime in if anything. Please go to your reactions and raise your hand or ask any question in the chat. We have a few minutes for that. Norma, I'll ask you to mute and go ahead. Hi, Norma.
Hi, this is amazing. All the shares, I'm very impressed. I'm pretty new to Purium and I love it. I'm enjoying it so much. I do feel all that you guys are mentioning. I had this share the other day where I was talking to someone about Purium, and then suddenly she started going off and about the importance about you need the meat, and then if you don't eat meat, then you don't have enough iron and blah, blah, blah. One of those where I couldn't even get my words in, So I just at that point said, okay, I'll have to like talk to my Purium sisters and have maybe like more information on, I try to be as friendly as possible with my shares, but when that came across in a very direct way, what would you recommend? Like, I understand it, like you're mentioning, you don't have to be off vegan, but at the same time, what the meat industry and all the, that does to your body, what would you response be to that?
Lucy or Pilani?
You know what? Really quick, I'm going to share my story. 2011, I was diagnosed with cancer. I was diagnosed with cancer and the colon cancer and ovarian cancer. And I went immediately, I took myself up everything. And when I tell you everything, no real food, no meat, no nothing. And everybody was saying, you're gonna, oh my God, yeah, you're gonna be this, you're gonna miss the protein, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. Everything the doctor back then prescribed me, because I went to a natural doctor, isn't the power shake. You're not gonna miss anything if you go vegan, if you stop eating meat right now. You're gonna have your protein with the super aminos. They just have to try it. You're gonna have all your nutrients with the power shake. One of the things the doctors say, you need to eat a lot of cherries. There's no way you can eat a lot of cherries. Even if you have a box, you're not gonna eat it. And then we have the abati cherry. You had to clean your colon. 30 days later, of me being juicing, the juice therapy, I went to the doctor to do tests and everything, you name it, every single test if you can imagine, I was clean and I'm still alive. So nothing is gonna happen if they go off meat, if they don't eat chicken, if they don't eat eggs, because we have the ULT, which has every single nutrient that your body needs. That's how I answer them. I just give them my own experience because I'm still here. And of course I go every year to make sure I don't have the C anymore, but I don't. And the doctors could not believe it.
Great. Thank you so much, Lucy.
Yeah, a great insight. And I love hearing more of your story, Lucy. Thank you for sharing that reversal of yours that you had. Amazing.
Yes.
In the chat, one of our council members actually is asking, how do you work with people who are interested but have a financial barrier? I would love to hear your strategies for connecting these people with solutions. Who'd like to answer that?
Should I go for it?
You may, yeah.
I want to go for it because I'm a Mexican, okay? And us Mexican, when we want to do something, we got the money from who knows, but we got it. Okay, I always say it's too expensive compared to what? If you don't have the money, how can you have the money to buy groceries? Do you know that once that you order the ULT, your grocery bill is going to be less? Okay, you're going to pay the price today or tomorrow. So you decide when you're going to pay the price. The price is going to be $360. Towards the later line, you're going to pay a big price with insurance. If you don't have insurance, you're going to pay the big price. I don't care if you go to Mexico and you think it's cheaper over there, you're going to pay the big price. So no, it's no question about how am I going to, where or how, or I don't have the money. It's about, I need to have the money to at least try and go for this. Again, as Latinos, when we want to do something, it's like magical. The money comes like magic, but we just have to put that in the minds of everybody. It's our own health. We're not invested in a house. We're not invested in jewelry. We're not invested in anything. It's our own health. So think about it. Pay the price right now or pay the price later. That's what I answered.
That's great. I love it. Yes. And it's up to us to speak life into the value. You're right. 100%. And like you coming from people who are talking about very different value of product. So how valuable is your life? Great point. I think Ada Iglesias, she had her hand up. Did you still have a question? Yes. I'll unmute you.
Yeah, I want to say first, I took my notes of what I wanted to say, but I'm gonna make it short because this is like writing on the computer on my like notebook. This is for me like I feel I'm in church, like having a community of women. I'm like, amen, yes to that. Like, and I want to say thank you because this morning Fridays for me are so much pressure in the business. Because I'm like, oh my God, I didn't like, I'm not accomplishing what I want to accomplish. And then I'm like, Ara, that goes in your ego. Like, you know, you just gotta serve, open, say the truth. Like I'm trying to like merge like the 3D way of doing things and the masculine thing that I gotta do this in order to be worthy or whatever business. Like, and then I'm into the service and into the saying the truth. And thank you so much because what you were like saying is today was hard for me. I was like, shit, how can I focus again? Like I was like giving up, kind of. And then listening to this and all the stories and I was like, oh my God, like imagine in my mirror, I was like, wow, you say your age and I'm like, damn, I'm 31. Like with Pirium, I have the energy of, it's insane. Like I'm a fucking ninja. I'm like, I got you. Let's take this message. Let's spread the truth and the word. And my question is like, how like it has been the most effective way from your intuition and from your authentic self to bring, like, what was like the most effective, fastest, and you were flowing conversion story, and what is your strategy and recommendation to jump into that like more?
So thank you. It is raining here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I do have a tin roof that's collecting water, so I'll try to make this fast. It was the ULT. I started from the get-go for the 90 days that the program that we have now is exactly what I did without the program. I just knew my body spoke to me. So now with the 90-day program we have now, that's what I did in 2013. And at that time it was a 10-day. But I knew that after the 10-day, I can't stop this. So I got another 10-day and then another 10-day. Now it's a ULT 90-day. But at that time, I just did back to back to back 10 days for 90 days
Here.
because my body was speaking to me. Okay. And to address the money issue, I was living paycheck to paycheck. So I didn't have money to start a business, but I had money to pay bills, paycheck to paycheck, because I had bills to pay. My health got to the point where it was so bad that if I didn't do this, what would be the alternative? Death. So I took a bill that was due, and I said, I'm going to be late for that bill because either I'm going to die or I'm going to pay the bill on time. This is where my life was, you guys. It was at the bottom. The only way up, the only way to go is up. I started the business. I got some friends. I said, listen, you guys know what's been happening with me. I didn't know how bad their health was, but their health was just as bad. They all jumped in. We all made money right off the bat. The bill was paid on time. I got $7,000 within the first 3 months. So it's not about if I have the money, it's about meeting people where they're at, because I made the choice. No one talked to me. No one did a slick sales move on me, right? I just saw the value of the product and how it was helping other people before me. And I said, if it can happen to you, it needs to happen to me. Let me figure out how I'm going to get this money. I had money in the bank, but it was paid for my bill. Bill's going to be late. No problem. I'm getting it. Bill was never late. So Ara, I did 10-day, 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 which is our 90-day ULT program, which I highly recommend for anyone.
Awesome question and great answer. And wow, thank you so much. Wow, what a wonderful call. And I'm so appreciative of Pilani and Lucy for joining us today. And please catch us on the replay on our YouTube channel. This will be up as of tomorrow. So I'm going to now pivot and move it to sharing what this community is about through our pledge. If one of the council members can, Taz or Neva, pull up that, if that would be okay. And who would like to read? Who'd like to read our pledge so that we get a little bit grounded in the intention of our community? Oh, I see Mary Beth Fleming. That'd be wonderful. I'd love to have you. I'll unmute.
Awesome. Thank you guys. What a wonderful call. I really appreciate it. And I love this pledge. So I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am Million Mom movement. Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you so much. Mary Beth is going to be arriving here in April to share her story for her Lunch and Learn on postpartum health. And she's in her postpartum journey, amazing mother in our community, and 2-star crown. So cheers to these amazing leaders and mamas of many in our community. Thank you so much. I'm going to pivot to now our call to action. And Tas Ferreira, can you please share it with us today?
Absolutely. This call has been amazing. Thank you, ladies, for sharing all of these amazing information. And what I was hearing, it's where we come from, right? And how we used to eat. So our call to action this week is on something that is something I used to eat a lot of. Okay, so let me get it. So we consult the poison in our daily bread. And this week we are looking at Nature's Valley granola bar. So this is something I used to eat all the time. When I started on my journey of healthy eating, I thought granola was healthy. And I would have this each and every single day. But what I didn't know is that it was full of glyphosate. And this was contributing to my eczema. And whenever something happens on your skin, that means it's been happening in our bodies for years, right? A toxic overload that we've been talking about. So what I suggest that we do, let's go onto Instagram and we type in Nature Valley, and let's go to this one. Okay, and I already posted it here, and we will write to them. It has been brought to our attention that Nature Valley Chewy Granola Bar protein variety pack contains 20 parts per billion of toxic herbicide glyphosate. Per the Detox Project, we have been unable to reach the company to address this issue. And as a group of concerned parents at the Million Mom movement, we would like to see more transparency in reporting the sources of ingredients and toxins found in the products of the companies where we are choosing to spend our family's dollar. So write this and tag us, the Million Mom movement, and repost this and tag us. And together we can make a difference and show them that we are concerned mamas, and we will not stand for this ingredient of glyphosate to be in our food. So I'll pass it back to you, Carmela, to close off our call.
Oh, thank you. Please join our activism. So again, we're the activism arm in the company. So we want to call our community to show in our stories, show in your posts, make a reel out of it. Let people know that you care about our glyphosate solution and you're doing something about it actively and growing a team to educate more people about it. So next week, we have a very special call, our Fierce Friday. It's on emotional eating and shifting your relationship with food. So we want to have you join us to discover ways you can take control of your relationship with food. And this is with the guest, Michelle Boersma. So she's going to be coming on. We're very excited to have her as the first-time guest. Please like, follow, and subscribe to our channel so that you can plug into our community on a regular basis. Like our Facebook page, it's at Million Mom Movement, or join our Facebook group. So we have an official and we have a group. And then on Instagram, it's where you can find all of our links into our link tree there on Instagram at Million Mom Movement. You can tag us too. If you have posts about your family, anything about what you're doing to integrate this lifestyle that's inspiring, that's uplifting, hashtag Million Mom Movement, or hashtag I am the Million Mom Movement, or hashtag we are the Million Mom Movement. And then follow us on our Twitter page at Million Mom Movement, and subscribe especially to our channel, because this is where we upload all of our future invites. And also stay tuned. We have a Lunch and Learn coming up on the 15th. We are putting together a very special tool for the field. called the SAD to RAD, which is the Standard American Diet to the Radiance Activation Diet. It's a handbook, a flip book. So it's going to be a tool for you mamas to use during events. We just want to give you ways to help new people integrate this lifestyle with a how-to book. That's if you want to remember what Million Mom is all about, we want to teach people how to go from where Lucy and Pialani had come from, really shifting lifestyle and adopting this radiant, activated life. Well, thank you all so much for being on the call. Again, to our guests, Lucy and Pialani, and Mary Beth as well. Blessings, everyone. Happy Friday.